The purpose of this tutorial is to demonstrate how you make an engineer's drawing. So the first thing I need to do is make sure I'm in the correct project library. I'm going to create a drawing, an engineer's drawing that is, of my part that was a battery compartment cover. So I check on the project library, and now when I click open to open that part, it goes right to the correct folder and I open that part. Now having this open is going to make my drawing creation easier. That's because Inventor will already assume that this is the part or model that I want to make a drawing of. So with that open, I now go up to that drop down I like to use, click on the arrow, and choose Drawing for a new drawing. And here I have Drawing. I have Sheet 1 as my default, but you might have a different sheet. So right click, say Edit Sheet, and make sure that it says 8.5 by 11, a regular standard size sheet of paper. If it does not, right here in size, change it to size A so that it's an 8.5 by 11. It should be landscape, and you can say OK. A default border, that refers to this border, and I like that fine. This is this little labeled area in the lower right hand corner, which we normally would keep, but for this first project we're going to get rid of that. So right click on it and say delete. We'll use this whole space, and then I'll just have you, using the Annotate tab and the text tool, just write your name and the title of your project up in that corner. So to place a view, the front view that is, which goes in this lower left hand corner, I click on Base, and there it is, right? So I can, here I see, right there I see arrows, double arrows. When I see that, I can put this where I want it, and I know that looks small, but that's just one view. If I go directly above the front view, you'll see that I have a long top view, so I actually need that full space. And Inventor will try to estimate what would be the best scale. You might have a scale of 1 to 1, a scale of 1 to 2, which is half the size, 1 to 4, which is 1/4 the size, or maybe you have a very small object that you want to enlarge for the sake of making the dimensions easier to see. Mine is 1 to 1, and I'm actually going to move that yet a little bit further down. And now this is important. I go directly above my front view. If I went over here, this is not the top view anymore. See how the size even changed? Directly above, you see that dotted line, and now I click, and that is the top view of my object. And now if I go directly to the right, and not up here, again it changed, directly to the right, this is my right side view. And then up here I am actually going to place that view. Can you guess what that's going to be? It is the isometric view if it's not lined up to be the right side view or the top view. So I'll place my isometric view and then say OK, and now the views will change just a little bit. Okay, now we have line drawings, and I'm going to place my dimensions. So if I want to add any information on here, what I need to do is click on Annotate, and here's my dimension tool. And now this is important. You need to decide where is the best place to put your dimensions. So for instance, this little tab that sticks out, this one right here, I think that right here is the best place to say how wide that is. So I'm going to click on the green dot measuring from here to here. So I clicked and I clicked, and that is 0.71 inches, or 71/100ths of an inch. Now the primary unit is to the nearest hundredths, and that seems like a fair dimension to use here. I'm going to say OK, and leave the rest alone. And if for some reason the size of that dimension was too small, there's a way to change that as well that I'll show you. If I have my dimension not checked, just like in Inventor when we're making a part, with nothing highlighted up here, I can double click on anything I've made and have it come up, and then I can change the way it appears. Okay, so right here I could actually change the size. So if I highlight this, and that is just an automatic dimension, that's what that means, and click on the text editor, right here, again highlight it, right here I could change that to twice the size. Now I do have limits here of how large it can be, and here it didn't even let it go larger. I wonder why that is actually. I'm going to try it one more time. There it is, and edit dimension, and there I'm going to change it to larger, and now let's see if it's going to allow it to change. Maybe this is why. We'll see. I'll say okay, and okay. Nope, it won't let it change, but that's fine because this is the right size anyway for my drawing. Okay, where else do you think would be a good place to put a dimension? Now, I need all dimensions that an engineer would need to know, or a manufacturer would need to know in order to recreate this product. So I think, I click on my dimension, I think I definitely need to know this, right? So I'll place that there. And how about the length? This seems, for the total length, this seems like the best place. And notice that I am putting these relatively close to the line that it's measuring. What I would not want is for it to be all the way out there. Okay? What you need to do then is create your drawing so that every dimension that is necessary is on your drawing, but not duplicated, because then it gets redundant and too busy. One thing I had not shown you yet is how to put your name in the title of that part. So it's the text tool, and I just click, and here I can say Ms. Gipp, so that we know who this belongs to, and I'm going to change this to a larger size, and then I'm going to click again and give it a title, battery compartment cover, and say OK. And notice how that one is much smaller. I hit my escape, that's why it jumped there. I'm going to show you how I can edit that size by double clicking, highlight it, change this to twice the size, hit OK, and now you can see that it's larger. Now I'll place this nicely, and I have many more dimensions that I need to put on here in order for someone who wants to recreate my project to know the measurement all around. I have one more varying dimension I want to show you, because these are linear dimensions. I can also place the diameter. So notice how that reads differently. Okay? Put all your measurements on and make sure you save. Mine is obviously not complete, so make sure yours is. I want to save it as the same name as my object, but this time it ends with DWG, which is a drawing, and save.